So, from Minimax, we go to Junior Rotax. Here's your starting grid for their pre-final. So, on the front row, it's going to be Austin Lee and Leon Zelenko. Macaulay Bishop and Gustav Zusakov's row 2. Boluet and Mitchell van Dijk, row 3, ahead of Lawrence Herboz, Enzo Bol, Felipe Falk, Mika van der Peyverts, rounding out the top 10. Dion van Werven, Mateo Radenkovic, Frederik Zebis Christensen, Adam Krepsik, Thomas Ingram Hill, Max Cuthbert, Maxim Sichurko, Armand Hamilton, Gabriel Cullen and Will Murtaugh round at the top 20. Jack West, Alexander Savinkov, Noah Janssen, Kasper Schrommans, Leon Boshoff, Nemanja Jovanovic, Anja Levar, Martin Ernesto Varga, Patrick Slipovics, Thies van Wijk, rounding out the top 30. Coming through the second chance qualifying heat, Gideon Bartenstein, Thomas Ludokas, Vasil Apostolowski, Aras Majalskis, Pat Gubbles, and Jimmy Kokalainen. So the drivers now go onto their official formation lap ahead of 11 minutes plus a lap of racing. So 5 drivers no longer taking part out of the 41. The top 36 coming through to this phase of the competition. 36 Junior Rotax drivers. 18 rows, 11 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap as they slow to a crawl through the 12th and final corner. It's Austin Lee on pole position. It's Leon Zelenko alongside in the front row. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out. The pre-final for Junior Rotax is underway at a good start from both Austin Lee and the driver behind, Macaulay Bishop, as they hurtle their way into turns 1 and 2 for the opening time. 3, 4 abreast. Is everyone going to get safely through? They have done so far. Through turn 3, it's a bit of a melee at the back of the field, but everyone's still safely through. Now on the run down to turn 2 for the first time, turn 6 for the first time. 2 wide, and we've had a little bit of an incident. Someone's backwards. It's someone from RS Competition, and it is the 2, 3, 4 Frederik Zebis Christensen. Backwards, 180 degrees the wrong way, and we've got more drivers at turn number 7. That is the 2, 1, 3. Australia's Armand Hamilton. As the rest of the field makes their way through turn 9 and turn 10, Armand Hamilton looks to be out of the race, I'm afraid, and will start from the back of the grid. So in the first 60 seconds, some dramas happening, both at turn 6 and at turn 7. Either side of the Europlan. Someone definitely getting their elbows out. Might have been, more than likely, I think, possibly Adam Krepsik. But at the moment, leading the way is Austin Lee. But Macaulay Bishop is right on his case. Boluet is also there. Mika van der Peyvert gets past Felipe Falk through turn 6 and onto the Europlan. Bit of a squabble at the back end of the top 10. Difficult to go 2 wide, let alone 3 wide through turn 7. And someone's gone off and into the barriers. Off of turn number 7. The foam barriers have been rearranged. So dramas at the top right-hand part of the circuit. So it's turn 7 off of the end of the Europlan. Marshall is on the scene. 2 minutes down, 9 to go. And now Macaulay Bishop has got the race lead in the pre-final from Austin Lee. Made that through as we started lap number 3. And it looks like it might be Vasil Apostolowski that might have gone backwards into the barriers. Not 100% sure. Driver is out of the kart, unharmed and walking away. And there's another cut. Well, there's Armand Hamilton's kart. And it will be Vasil Apostolowski from North Macedonia. So Macaulay Bishop leading the way. Austin Lee in second. Boluet from Belgium in third place in the 2:24. Louet took the pole position award on Friday night's time qualifying. So Bishop leads from Lee, from Louet, Herboz, Usakov's up to P5 now. As they come across the line to complete lap number 3. So it's Macaulay Bishop, Austin Lee, Boluet, Lawrence Herboz, Gustav Usakovs, Mika van der Pever, Felipe Falk, Dion van Verven, Enzo Bol and Thomas Ingram Hill to complete the top 10, but Austin Lee is not letting Macaulay Bishop get away. They were 71 thousandths apart going over the start-finish line last time around. Felipe Falk looking to close in and get past Mika van der Pevert. Kieran Bartenstein, who was the highest placed of the drivers through the second chance heat, has moved up from 31st and now has hit the top 20 and is moving forward at a rapid rate of pace. So some great battles up and down the order. Battle for first and second, battle for fourth and fifth, battle for sixth and seventh. I'd also say Enzo Bol is having a great battle for 8th place with Dion van Verven right now, as the 2:04 is ahead. Austin Lee looking to try and get past on Macaulay Bishop. He did have a drama in his last heat where he had to use the escape road off of the exit of the Europalan and lost the lead to the driver behind him. As now Felipe Falk gets alongside Mika van der Pevert and gets through using the slipstream and the side draft down the Europalan from turn 6 to turn 7. So both Armand Hamilton and Vasil Apostolowski out of the race. We're down to 34 drivers still circulating. We're about to complete lap number 5. Bishop has gone defensive on Austin Lee. This is going to allow Boluet, but now Austin Lee gets through. And Macaulay Bishop now will put in alongside. But Bishop actually did not pull alongside. He actually pulled in behind Austin Lee, and now has Boluet for close company. So Louet looking to get through, and he does get through on the youngster from Hoddesdon, 269, now down to third place. Lawrence Herboz and Gustav Usakovs are within lunge range of the 269 in third position. So Dion van Verven has now dropped behind, Enzo Bol has got past Mika van der Pevert in the meantime. And now I've just seen that the 268, Alexander Savinkov from Great Britain, has just been given a 5-second time penalty for pushing by race control, which is now being indicated on the digi flag on the start-finish straight. 6 minutes down, 5 minutes to go. And Austin Lee now has an 0.8 of a second lead ahead of Boluet. Macaulay Bishop running out the top 3. Lawrence Herboz and Gustav Usakovs running out the top 5. Felipe Falk looks to have lost, he has lost 6th position to Enzo Bol in the 2:04. So the leaders make their way towards the final corner. Austin Lee has pulled a bit more of a gap over Boluet. Could be closer to a second now. Might be the advantage for the 272 based out of Weisendorf in Germany. And that gap now is 0.787. Bishop stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, because he's got to decide if he goes on the attack against Boluet, or does he defend sternly against Lawrence Herboz in the 298. So with Bouvin power. And there has been a change. Boluet, did he make a bit of a mistake going into turn 7? Because Macaulay Bishop saw the window of opportunity presented to him right in front and got through on the 2-2-4. As now Lawrence Herboz has lost out to Gustav Zusakovs. Spoke to Stad Yanis this morning and he said, yeah, we're really proud that he's going to be representing Latvia despite the fact we're based in Great Britain. But that's always good. Representing your heritage. And now Zusakovs looking very, very close indeed to Boluet for 3rd position. As Austin Lee now has more than a second advantage over Macaulay Bishop. The gap now just shy of 1.1 seconds. Thomas Ingram Hill, in the meantime, has got past Ian van Verven in the 2.70, who now has dropped to the top, to the bottom part of the top 10. And not too far behind is Lithuania's Maxim Sachurko. Kasper Schurman's up to 12th. Mitchell van Dijk, Leon Zelenko, Mika van der Pavert. And there has been a drama, there has been an incident involving Gustav Zusakovs and Boluet, and everyone has got past, and there was a touch from behind. So that just goes to show how charged up these youngsters are. They are filled full of adrenaline. Now there has been a time penalty applied for pushing. That is going to the 2.35 of Lithuania's Maxim Sachurko. So now Enzo Bol finds himself up into 3rd place after the incident involving Boluet and Gustav Zusakovs. So we've got just under 2 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. So Austin Lee now leading, but the lead is being eaten into by Macaulay Bishop. That gap now is just shy of a second. It was nearly 1.1. It now is 0.991. There are the top 2. There's Enzo Bol, Lawrence Herboz, Felipe Falk, and, Matej Denkovic has made his way up from 12th and now is up into 6th place. As a result of that incident between Gustav Zusakovs and Boluet, they are going to tumble down the order. Boluet 18th, Gustav Zusakovs 20th, and now we've had our first runoff area penalty. That's going to Anja Levar in the number 294. Is currently running in 31st position. The youngster from Slovenia. Oh, sorry, not Slovenia. Based out of Grahovo. As we're heading into the final 50 seconds of the race, plus an additional lap. A 5-second time penalty being shown on the digi flag, reference the 294. Kasper Schurmans has made some headway, and Leon Zelenko has dropped a bit further back and is outside of the top 10. So we go on to the penultimate lap, lap 12 out of 13. Here in the junior Rotax pre-final. Last lap board will be out next time. Macaulay Bishop has put in a 56.288. Matej Denkovic has put in the fastest lap of the race of anybody. 56.00055. As the timer strikes 0. That's it, time is up. Let's see how big the gap is going to be between Macaulay Bishop in 2nd and Austin Lee in 1st, as they're going to come out of turn 11 now. And it's about 4 kart lengths. So Macaulay Bishop trying to close in on Austin Lee. Out of the final corner, last lap board is shown. So lap 13 underway. And Kasper Schurman's going defensive on Thomas Ingram Hill. And Macaulay Bishop is now with Austin Lee for the race lead. It was 0.242 of a second between the 2.72 and the 2.69 as they head towards turn 6. Bishop sweeps to the outside, gets the undercut, touches wheels. And then, as a result of that, gets through. I think probably because of the fact that Austin Lee might have just thought, well, you know what, I'm going to let him pass. But that was a bit too close for comfort. They both touched wheels. Through into turn number 10. 2 more corners to go. Now one more corner remains, and out of it comes the 269 from Great Britain. Macaulay Bishop takes the win in the pre-final ahead of Austin Lee. Enzo Boll takes third ahead of Lawrence Herabols. Felipe Falk, Mateo Dankovic, Kasper Schormans holds off by the best part of half a second in front of Thomas Ingram Hill, with Mitchell van Dijk and Dion van Verven rounding out the top 10. And Macaulay Bishop had eaten into that lead, and it was in the last couple of laps that the youngster from Hoddesdon would make it good his intentions, despite that clash of wheels between him and Austin Lee. Macaulay Bishop provisionally wins the pre-final. So there's your results. Macaulay Bishop wins the pre-final ahead of Austin Lee by just under 0.3 of a second. Enzo Boll completes the top three, covered by 0.9. Lawrence Herabols, Felipe Falk, Mateo Denkovic, Kasper Schormans, Thomas Ingram Hill, Mitchell van Dijk, Dion van Verven round out the top 10. Leon Zelenko, Max Cuthbert, Mika van der Pavent, Maxim Sachurko, Jack West, Gabriel Cullen, William Murtaugh, Boluet, Adam Klepsik and Gustav Zusakos round out the top 20. Frederik Zebis Christensen, Thijs van Wijk, Patrick Slipovics, Alexander Savinkov, Kieran Bartenstein, Thomas Rudokas, Aras Mijauskis, Vian Boshoff, Pat Gubbles, Martin Ernesto Varga, Noah Janssen, Jimmy Kokalainen, Anja Levar, and Nemanja Jovanovic rounding out the 34 that finished. Vasily Postolowski and Armand Hamilton did not finish the race itself. So the junior Rotax drivers would leave the pre-grid ahead of it. The race getting underway. Austin Lee led the field, followed by Macaulay Bishop in the 269 from Dan Holland Racing. Boluet trying to make good his intentions. As the likes of Lawrence Herabols were trying to get through as well. This was the first moment that we had as the 2-3-4 Frederik Zebis Christensen, wondering what on earth happened. And then a little bit later on, we had the likes of the 281 and Vasily Postolowski, who went backwards into the barriers at turn 7 but walked away. Armand Hamilton also suffered dramas. Austin Lee would then take the lead from Macaulay Bishop, who was quickly being followed by Boluet, as the 224 would make a good overtake through turn number 6, with Lawrence Herabols and Gustav Zusakovs in the background. Bishop would then return the favour through turn 7 and get through. And Boluet nearly got compromised because of the close ratio nature of speed differential. And then there was this. This was why they interlocked wheels, because Zusakovs went for a move through turn 9. And there was a little bit of afterthought on that one as well. Boluet finishing 18th, Gustav Zusakovs finishing. And there was the clash between Macaulay Bishop and Austin Lee. And Austin Lee just let the Brit go past. And Bishop would take the victory by just under 0.3 of a second ahead of Austin Lee and Enzo Boll.